All right, what's up, guys? I'm Andres Wolf, founder of Reality Reconnect, the number one DPDR recovery program in the world. And today I'm here with extremely special guest, Rachel Alden, who made a full recovery in 59 days. Incredible. After, what was it, basically a year or two of
Yeah.
DPDR. We're definitely going to get into all that. So, yeah, Rachel, just, introduce yourself. Where are you from? How did this all start for you?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm 24. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. This all started back in 2022. Just like went through some really hard times, had a lot of anxiety, and then it just kind of I bubbled over into DPDR and then kind of was able to ignore it for a bit and then went away, but it wasn't completely healed or gone yet, you know. So it came back kind of March of 2025 after a panic attack.
Yeah,
So it's kind of yeah, how am I? And then it just spiraled into being pretty bad. So
right. And
yeah,
that
then I reached out.
100%. And you have an interesting story. A lot of people have experienced what you've experienced, Rachel, where you had it, it went away, and then you had your second round of it. That's actually very common because people never get to the root cause of it, right?
Right.
So, what were you like? What were the symptoms you were experiencing? What were the most debilitating things that
Yeah.
you went through?
I would say like just the existential thoughts were like my like number one awful, like I hated those that the most. And then I would say just kind of like I would get anxiety symptoms a lot, like panic attacks and like things like that. Those were my two main things that were really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The existential thoughts were the absolute worst for me. Absolute
Yes.
worst. It's
Yeah.
just like it's unexplainably horrible. If you know, you know.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
just to recap your story, you experienced it for how long in 2022?
Probably from around May to like August. So probably around,
Three
yeah, a
months?
few months.
Three
Yeah.
months, then it completely went away, like if nothing happened, or would it still
Um,
like linger?
it would still linger, but then I just was like, it was just felt a little bit more like, okay, I could push past it.
Hmm.
But it wasn't like completely gone until like, then I was like, okay. And then it felt like I was still functioning. I was still like, I could function with it, back then, but then it just bubbled over again because I didn't
And
get
then,
to
and then
it.
and then one panic attack this March is what set everything back
Yeah.
off to
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally get you. I totally get you. And yeah,
Mhm.
I want to read off what your message when you reached out to me is exactly that,
Mhm.
everything we just talked about, but your symptoms, right? You said it was so bad after that panic attack that you struggled to leave the house. You were, feeling like you weren't real, whether that was you or your
Mhm.
surroundings, the brain fog,
Mhm.
the confusion, the
Mhm.
existential thoughts. Give us some examples, Rachel. I know, but people out there really
Yeah.
want to relate. Like, what are some existential thoughts that kept going through your mind?
Yeah, it was just basically like I was almost confused by like me and like my and like other people and
Mm,
just like my existence. Like it was just like it was freaking me out. I don't know. That was like definitely a big one. That just like the world just looked so much. It's just like there was like a lens of just like everything was weird all of a sudden.
yep.
That's kind of like what I felt like. Where it was like, oh, I like didn't remember what it felt like before.
Right. You don't know what it feels like to be normal again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would all, and I remember you telling me like the existential thoughts were like, how am I
Mhm.
here? Why am I here? How did I get here? Things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it was things like that. Definitely.
I totally
Definitely
get you.
hard.
And like, how bad would you say the DPDR got for you, right? Because like people
Yeah.
watching this, they always feel like, including yourself, you felt like your DPDR was like the worst, right? Like no
Hmm.
one can possibly understand what you went through, right? But like,
Hmm.
how bad would you say it was for the people listening, you know?
I would say like, and me personally, I just like I couldn't function. Like it was bad. Like
You couldn't
I
drive either. You didn't drive
no,
for over a month. You didn't
no,
leave
I
your
could
house.
I could barely even like get up to go take a shower, go to the bathroom. It was just bad.
I
Like I
remember
was,
that. You told me like you used to be
yeah,
scared to shower, like even that was hard.
yeah, yeah, just like everyday things. It was hard to get through. So
Wow,
it
wow.
was
I know
bad.
what that's like, Rachel, and it's just incredible how we were able to get you fully recovered so quickly. And it's, like we
It's
do with everyone, but obviously, like, I think you really did have a really low starting point, and I've worked with 127 people at this point. You had a very low starting point, but you
mhm.
came into the program so committed and so ready to get to work that you just made things happen. The first day on the program, you drove. I didn't
I
tell you to do that.
did. Yeah.
What,
No.
what, what, what like inspired you to do that on day one?
I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna have to do this at some point, you know? It's gonna have to happen. I'm not gonna be able to get around it. So I'm
Yeah,
just gonna do it today. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Like, I know I'm in good hands, you know? Like, if anything happens, like, I've got good hands that
I love that. I
take care
love
of
that.
me. So,
It gives you that extra security. It gives you extra
right.
security.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, did you ever feel like you had like a special kind of DPDR, or you had like, or for some reason like you were the one person that couldn't recover?
Yeah, definitely. I remember I would just like doom scroll on like and anxiety TikTok or whatever. Those like just being like, oh my gosh, I have it so much worse than these people. Like these people seem to be able to function, I guess, or do things, and I
Yeah.
just felt like I wasn't able to. And so that did make me feel a lot worse, like just knowing that. But then like once you get into the program you just realize that everybody is just like you and like, you know, like you're not going through anything special. It's like you might have something here and there that doesn't exactly line up with everybody, but it doesn't really matter, so it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, I relate to that on a whole nother level. Like I remember
Hmm.
scrolling through TikTok,
Hmm.
YouTube, and I was like pissed off at a certain point. I was like, there's no way these people experiencing what I went through. And I actually just
Yeah.
made a little video about this yesterday. I posted it where I was like, I was at a certain point, I just stopped looking at recovery stories because it just like pissed me off. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
like they don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And what was the one thing you said after that?
That the like once you kind of get into the program you just kind of realize
Oh yeah.
everybody is pretty much just going through like the same thing that you're going through, and you don't feel special anymore because you just know that we're all recovering at our own pace and it's always gonna work. So
100%. How
yeah,
important would you say it was to be inside the community?
that was it was like pretty much really important. I think in
Yeah,
terms of my recovery, like it's just knowing that other people are there going through it at the same time as me. It was really helpful.
and what would you say, Rachel, was like your lowest point? Like, do you remember the day or a
Yeah.
day that was your absolute rock bottom?
Yes, it was like the day it was probably the day before I reached out to you. I was just like absolutely like just in my bed. I was just crying all day and I was like I've hit rock bottom. Like this is like, you know, I mean like just like to put it like suicidal honestly, and like, you know, it was just like bad. It was not, I just remember that day and just being like I have to do something.
I know, I know.
Yeah.
I totally feel you. Like the suicidal and the depression aspect of it is so, so real. Like so,
Yeah.
so real. And anyone who's had it bad enough
Yeah.
definitely understands what that's like. I understand what that's like.
Yeah,
Um, And yeah, you reached out to me, you're just ready to rock. And we'll definitely talk about that. But before you reached out to me, Rachel, what were some things that you tried? Was it, I think you said therapy.
definitely.
What else did you try to overcome?
Yeah, well, I at first had gotten like a prescription for like Lexapro and when I, you know, anxiety medication, and that just didn't, I just didn't really want to do that. I just knew there was a way that I could get over, like, you know, heal it without that. And then I tried talk therapy for quite a while, probably like a couple months.
Mhm.
And it just she just didn't understand, I think, really what I was talking about. Like really truly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Because she was just like, well, you know, it's just anxiety. It's just go outside, do exposures. She wanted me to do exposures every day, and it was just kind of like feeding into it even more, just having that. So I
That's
think it was
exactly it.
feeding.
That's exactly it. I definitely want to hear more about your experience with talk therapy because a lot of people try that the traditional way. That's like the first step they do. What was
Yeah.
your experience with it? What was like the pros and cons, and like why didn't it work for you?
Yeah, I would say like the pros were it was nice having someone to talk to, but I think it was just more cons, if anything, now looking back at it, because it was just kind of just even talking about it that much really just kind of reinforces it. So it's just kind of it was it just made me the only thing I focused on was my symptoms. Um, so I think that was just why it didn't work out for me.
Of
Um,
course.
because I just
Obviously, I'm sure your therapist never been through DPDR, has never experienced it, and hasn't helped others overcome it, right? Did you
right.
ever bring up the word DPDR? Did you bring up like the symptoms, and what did she say about that?
Yeah, I did bring up like a DPDR because like I had already kind of experienced it before. I was like, okay, like I know what this is, I know what to call it. Um, but she just kind of thought I was talking about just regular dissociation, I guess, just kind of being like numb, I guess. I think
Yeah,
that's kind of what she thought I was talking about. But I was like, no, this is like a whole different beast, you know what I'm saying?
literally a whole
Yeah,
different
like
beast.
yeah, it's a whole different thing. So I just think she didn't really understand where I was coming from.
I know, and it's unfortunate, like. At first, I kind of, when I first started hearing, my clients and people saying like talk therapy didn't work for me, I was like kind of mad at the therapist because I was like, why don't
Mhm.
you know how to help them? But then
Yeah.
after a while, I kind of realized, Rachel, that it's impossible for them to help someone like you if they haven't been through it or at
Hmm.
least like helped others go through it and helped others overcome, right? When it comes to DPDR, it's so little, like it's not researched much. So like they don't get trained on it. And you would be surprised, half of the therapists, half of the doctors literally have never heard the term or will look at
Hmm.
you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. But
Hmm.
and then you said you tried exposure therapy, right? A lot of people think that that's the way to overcome anxiety, panic,
Yes.
DPDR. What do you think about that? What was your experience?
I think it would have maybe helped in like a 2-year time span, maybe. Like it was each day was just so it was like, okay, go outside for 5 minutes and then go back in and then don't do anything else. So it just makes you feel so like limited, I think. And like it's really all just in your head. You can do it, It's just but like with the exposure therapy, it just made you feel it made me feel like I was like a sick person that needed like that couldn't do anything.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Identity, right? When we talk
Yeah.
about how important identity shifts are, a lot of
Hmm.
people that come into the program were, much like you, where they've been through therapy. That itself already makes you feel like a patient or like a victim to your situation.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
they're on medication as well, which is
Mhm.
okay. But again,
Mhm.
usually isn't by like they wanted to take it. It was kind of their last resort. And then they have them
Mhm.
doing exposure therapy. So now you almost feel like you're literally like a sufferer, like someone is going
Yeah,
through it, and it really messes with your identity.
it does.
So I totally get what you mean by that.
Mhm.
Totally. And would you say at a certain point, Rachel, since like you couldn't leave your house much, like would you say you had like some mild agoraphobia?
Oh, I would say like intense agoraphobia. It
Oh,
was like, yeah, I literally like didn't leave my apartment for like a month and a half. Or like the most I would do would be like go on like a little walk around that would be it.
it's incredible to me that you went from intense agoraphobia to literally driving your first day on the program, all because you felt secure and safe enough with
Yeah.
me and with the program that it finally let your nervous system breathe and it gave you
Mhm.
confidence to do those things, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
What was it about the program or about myself that like inspired this confidence and gave you the security?
Yeah, I think just knowing that every single person you've helped has recovered, that just like made my mind think like, yeah, I mean, like why wouldn't I also be able to? So I was
Mm.
just like, I just know I have to trust and I'll be good, you know. I remember just seeing your videos. Like I remember coming across you a lot on TikTok too, and I would be like doom scrolling on there and being like, I'm like, yeah, like this guy, like he knows like what he's talking about, or he knows like he knows how to help people like 100%. So yeah, I had no doubt in my mind.
No doubt in your mind. I love that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
actually what I was going to ask you next. Like before joining the program, and of course it was a big investment on your end. Did you ever have any doubts or like skepticism about
yeah,
committing?
yeah. I feel like just anything kind of on social media, like that's like some, you're gonna be kind of skeptical about it, and it's not like kind of traditional, I guess.
Mm.
So it was kind of like, okay, I mean, like before you join it, you're just kind of like, okay, this is like, what is this? Like, is this really gonna help? Whatever. But I feel like if you're just like at a point where you're just like so rock bottom and like wanting to get better, you kind of like you're willing to do anything. And so I just like was like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? Like, I either stay like this or like this could really help. So
That's powerful right there, right? Like,
yeah,
what's
yeah,
the worst case scenario? You're
yeah,
already living the worst case scenario. I actually brought
literally.
up that I brought up that in my course, right? It's like, guys, we got to go all in because what's
Hmm.
the alternative to this? We're not going to go all in, you know?
Right.
So it's true, and that's why I say recovery is a choice at the end of the day, you know? And do you understand that concept, Rachel, of like recovery is a choice? Like you could choose to stay stuck or you could choose to do something
Hmm.
about it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because I could have probably been in the same exact position I was in right now if I didn't make the move. So,
So would I, though. So would I.
yeah,
I would have been in the same exact DPDR
yeah,
hole for what?
yeah,
A year? It would have been like a year and a half at this point, more than a year and a half at this point.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
made that decision to recover.
really,
Let's
yeah,
talk about that. Like, no, before that, like, what initially made you decide to work with me, though? Because, like, obviously there's a lot of options. There's like therapy you kind of tried already, but like, you could have
right.
tried something else, right? Like, why go with me out of everything?
Yeah, I just remember like finding your Instagram and just looking through your videos and just being like, wow, like yeah, like you don't like fluff up anything being like, oh, you have to regulate your nervous system by doing like this and this, just like do like these stretches,
I
like
hate that.
that's
I
kind of
hate
what I
that.
was seeing, and I was just like, you were just like the only person I saw that was just like, here there's like a method and here it is.
Yeah,
So I really like that.
I really, really heavily dislike those nervous system regulation exercises and all those
Yeah.
stretches and butterfly hugs.
Hmm.
I just I know that's not the way. You know that's not the way,
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's just a coping mechanism at the end of the day. It's a coping
Hmm.
mechanism to make you feel a little bit better. I don't doubt that it can make you feel better in that moment, but all it does is keep you in the loop. And now you feel like you're dependent on these exercises to regulate your nervous system. And what I
Hmm.
always say is like, you can't regulate a broken life by doing that, right? You have to regulate your life as a whole, right?
Yes.
Speaking of that, Rachel, before you started the program, what were some of the things in your life that were like, some of your bad habits, things you were doing that you weren't proud of,
Yeah.
and all that? What was your life like?
Yeah. I would say like my life before I was like a smoker, like I was vaping for like 8 years.
Mm.
I
That's
was
another thing. You quit
yeah,
nicotine.
quit it like
Amazing.
day cold turkey day of. I was like, okay, it's gone now.
Amazing.
Never look back. And then I was drinking a lot. I was just eating like horribly.
Sleep,
Yeah, sleep was terrible, going to bed at like
terrible.
what way into the night. Just every bad habit you could probably think of. Just kind of like going to work, coming home, and like just
Scrolling.
scrolling. Yeah, bad habits
And
for
it just
sure.
shows for like anyone hearing this right now, like Rachel literally couldn't leave her house, couldn't drive, had all those bad habits, smoking, drinking, sleeping horribly, eating horribly, and
Mhm.
you made the decision to make a complete change in your life and you recovered in
Yes.
59 days, right? If anyone can do it, I mean, if you could do it, anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it, you know? That's
Mhm.
and like
Yeah.
at what point, Rachel, did you feel like you had like a breakthrough or you had like some improvement? Like when did you see first
Right.
improvements?
I would say probably because like at first I wouldn't really drive far. Like I'd probably drive maybe like within like a 5 minute radius
Mhm.
of my house. But then like there was like a day where I drove like probably like 30 minutes and I didn't have a problem. And I was like that was like my like, oh wow, like I'm like feel like good right now, you know. Yeah, definitely just feeling like really good about myself in that moment and
When
just
was
like
this?
having a
Like,
lot of
at
help.
what point of the program was this?
That was probably not that far in, like maybe 2 weeks in, maybe
Hmm.
not
Yes, I
even.
remember because I remember we had a call like 2 weeks in, literally. It was like 17 days in, and you were
Mm-hmm.
already crushing it. Like, you were doing so well. I remember like at a certain point, it's probably like 3 or 4 weeks in, you were just telling me, like, yeah, I'm basically there already, right? We just
Yeah,
kept working to get you to 100%, you
yeah,
know? And how did that feel looking back at it, knowing where you started and just a couple weeks later you were
yeah,
so incredibly different. You felt so much better.
yeah. I just wish I would have like had like known all of these things, 3 months before,
Yeah,
that's what I,
literally.
yeah. Um, but it was so nice to just feel like something was actually helping because I
Something was
felt like I was
working.
like, yeah, it was like because I've spent so long just being like looking up this, is this gonna help? Is this gonna help?
Classic.
Uh, yeah, classic.
Classic. And what aspects of the program, Rachel, like made the biggest impact for you? Like whether it was like the course, the one-on-one support, the weekly calls,
Mhm.
the community, like what
Right.
aspect really made the biggest difference?
I would say probably a mix between the community and also being able to contact you guys. That was like a really nice thing. Just like having like updating you guys. I feel like that just like really held me accountable. Like the accountability aspect was like something that I think I really needed and I really liked about it. Um,
Yeah.
no, because I know just
Accountability
like
is everything. It's everything. Because
yeah.
like you can get the map, you can get like the blueprint, but if you don't
Mhm.
have someone there holding you accountable on those tough days,
Mhm.
then you're probably going to go right back to square one, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
That's 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 a really important concept. And how did we navigate those tough days, Rachel? Because you definitely had a couple like tough days, tough moments. How did you
Mhm.
respond in those moments, and how did we help you?
Yeah, definitely it was just I know you guys had told me like gave me some tips on those days where I was like, guys, what do I do?
Literally.
um so that was really helpful to have. And
Cool. And like, so if you were to like break down your recovery journey, was it a linear process? Was it up and down? How did it actually feel like to recover?
right. Honestly, it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I thought it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. And there were definitely days where I was like, oh man, like I don't feel great today. Kind of just don't want to do anything. But it's like really all it's just you gotta take care of yourself. That's like what I've like learned the most through all this is taking care of yourself. And it's like really if you just follow the plan, it's easy. It's easy.
It's easy. It's
Yeah.
funny. I was actually making another video about this recently. Like I was so surprised when I recovered how simple it was. For me, it
Hmm.
wasn't easy per se. Like I had to do this
Hmm.
myself, but
Hmm.
like how simple it was. Like, would you
Hmm.
ever, did you ever
Yeah.
believe like it was that simple, Rachel?
Right. No, no. If you would have like if you'd have just told me to do all this, like when I was just like searching and searching and searching for answers, I wouldn't have believed you. I'm like, it's this easy, this simple, you know? But because to me it was so hard to manage. So
That's
yeah.
100% right. That's 100%
Mhm.
right. I mean, we don't like to complicate things, right? Because when you're in that state, when
Right.
you're when you're in that state of 24/7 fight or flight,
Hmm.
dissociation,
Hmm.
complicated concepts and complicated things is the worst thing you could do, right?
Right.
You got to
Right.
keep it simple. You got to follow the plan and you got to do it every single day, like you
Yeah.
did. And you did an exceptional job at it, like exceptional job at it. And also, I mean, I never got to meet your mom, but she was a big part. She supported you through this journey, and at the beginning, she supported you, right? How was it like?
Exactly.
How was it like telling her that you made a full recovery?
Yeah, she was just so like she was like, oh, like I could just see her like breathe. Like she just had like a weight off of her shoulders. Because I mean, it's like, when you're seeing your daughter go through something like this, like just every day, just not, you know, going through the thick of it, you know, it is a weight on her shoulders too. So it was just nice finally being like, oh my gosh, like she doesn't have to worry about me.
That's
You know.
amazing. That's
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So what do you think separates Reality Reconnect from like therapy or, for example, like just a regular community or like some random course?
I would say it's just yeah, it's like the community that like we have in here, just like knowing that everybody's like there's like no negativity in here. It's very much like everybody's like pumping each other up and everybody's always doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so then you feel motivated um in turn to do good things for yourself too. And I'm just like never been in a like there's been other communities I've been in, but it's sometimes been people complaining or like just being like, oh, my life is suck, like just like that kind of thing.
No,
um
absolutely.
yeah, yeah, and
That
so
doesn't
that
happen. That simply just doesn't happen.
no.
No, it's just I love the community. I love just everyone winning every single day. Honestly, I feel like I should show that off more. I don't for whatever reason,
Right,
but
right.
it's truly awesome.
Yeah.
Um, cool. What else did I have for you? Um, yeah, I mean, what role did doing things even when you felt anxious, how important was that, right? Even like starting the program, right? Like that is something that's not just like, just like you're going to stumble across it. Like, no, you're going to be intentional and you're probably going to be scared to start,
Mm-hmm.
but when you do, it's life changing, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, how important was that? Just like doing things despite you being scared or
Yeah.
anxious or depersonalized or whatever.
That was like that's probably the most important thing in my opinion. A lot of it is like a lot of the things it's like I have to do it. I know that I have to do this right now just to like show show my body who's boss, just like that's kind of like how you get through those anxious feelings is by doing them anxious. So there's been moments where I'm like, I really don't want to do this, or like I'll be like, oh, I want to go do something, but I'm like feeling anxious about it, and so I'm trying to talk myself out of it, and then I'm like, no, I'm gonna go do it, even though I am anxious. So it's been just like definitely a number one principle that I've kind of been instilling in myself for sure.
It's
Doing
so
it.
important.
Mhm.
And how important is it to not just do things, but like to go all into your recovery? Like, do you believe that you would have recovered if you didn't go all in?
No, you can't just like half go in. You have to like really be like, this is going to be my life now, and I'm changing my life. You have to just be ready to change your life,
You have to be
basically.
ready. You have to go all in. And
Yeah.
that's something I wish I knew because that's something I wish a lot of people knew because a lot of people just think like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just like exercise and whatever. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
like eat some good foods and whatever. Like That's
Mm-hmm.
nothing. If you want to really make a fast recovery like you did, you have to go
Mm-hmm.
all in. All your bad habits have to be dropped,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Everything in your life that you're not proud of has to be dropped. And you have to recreate yourself essentially, right?
Yes,
Because the
yeah.
version of yourself, the past version of yourself, wasn't able to recover because she had all those things, right? Myself included, people watching this included. The version of them watching this right now is not the same person that's going to get them recovered, right? They have to
Sure.
essentially recreate themselves and do things when they're scared and completely change their life completely. So it's a really
Mm-hmm.
important concept too.
Yeah.
Um, and that's it's a quote that I like. What was that quote called? Like you can't heal in the same place that broke you type thing.
Yes, yes. No, that's perfect.
And it's not about the place. You can't heal in the same person that broke you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Like I don't even recognize myself like from
No, and that's a good
before.
thing. Thank
Yeah,
God.
exactly. You don't want to, you
Thank
don't want to
God.
be that person anymore.
Not at all. What are you most proud of, Rachel? What are you most proud of achieving? Um,
Yeah. I would say, I mean, I went from being like intense agoraphobic to now I I just go on road trips. I just went on a road trip to Chicago, like a 5 hour road trip, just on a whim, just because I felt like it. And then now I'm also moving like 40 minutes from where I live now, and it's just like I never would have thought like
yes, yes, yes. Let's
that.
talk about that. Let's
Yeah,
talk about that. Rachel,
yeah.
you're moving to downtown Chicago, something that you never thought you could do. Explain, like, what are some things, including that right now that you're doing that you never thought you were going to be able to do?
Yeah, definitely never thought I would be able to do that. Never thought I'd really be able to drive again at all. Like I just was like, I think this is just a part of my life that's gone now because I just there was the intense the fear was just so intense. Um and then that just even going to like public spaces again, like I went to a concert, like that was stuff that like was a big no-no for me. Um
Yeah,
just really crowded social spaces like that. um just being able to just talk to people without my only thoughts being like my symptoms and just
yeah,
like yeah, it felt like that was just the only thing running through my mind 24/7. So
yeah. I'm so proud of you, Rachel. You completely turned your life around. You're going to move out now. You move in on Sunday. You're gonna get a
yes.
new job. You're
Hmm.
driving. You're living your life. I can't. I'm so excited for this next chapter of your life. It's gonna be
Me
the
too.
best, you know. And that's
Yes.
what I like to say. Like recovery isn't like the end game and the end goal. Recovery is the start of your new life. You know, once you
Mhm.
recover, you feel so much better about yourself, about your capabilities, right? Do you feel
Yeah.
more confident now than ever?
Yeah, like I you can really just once you overcome something like this, like you just have the confidence that you can do genuinely anything and that you're gonna be just fine and really just get through it because you know you can. Um,
It gives you extraordinary confidence to do anything in life. It's
yes.
amazing. Like, look at me. Like, I jumped right into it, just helping people, just
Hmm.
created everything. It's amazing.
Yes, yes. It's amazing.
Awesome. Almost done here, but what would you say to someone, Rachel, who's going through what you went through, like the exact same shoes as you, and who's currently
Hmm.
struggling, and they
Yes.
just need some hope, they need some advice.
Yes. I would say like the talk like I'm talking to my old self is like being like just you got to do something about this and you know what it's like the quicker the better. If you don't want this to be like a really that's something that happens to you for a really long time, you just don't. And I would say if you're skeptical, if you're like second guessing it, like I was kind of also the same way a little bit. And like but like I'm like the best I've ever been now, so I think you just gotta kind of trust if it's your gut, then just go with it.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
would you say to someone who's watching this, who's kind of on the fence, like
Mhm.
maybe they haven't reached out yet. Maybe they're like a little bit skeptical or scared to. Maybe they have already reached out and maybe they even have their consultation call,
Mhm.
but they're like, you know, they're kind of convinced, but they just like they're still on the fence. What would you
But
say to them?
I would say it's just like, what do you really have to lose at this point? There's it's just like it's single-handedly the thing that helped me. It's the thing that got me recovered was this. So I know there's a lot of other things you think that you can try, but honestly,
I
it's
don't know many other things, to be
I
honest.
know I don't think so either. It's like especially like for this, it's like you're the only one that's like that knows exactly what to do. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. I appreciate that. What else we got? I think it's about it. I mean, obviously you don't regret working with me at all. We got you
yeah,
fully
no,
recovered.
yeah.
But how excited are you about your future moving forward, Rachel?
So excited now. I mean, like I didn't like see like a future past this. I didn't see a future past DPDR before. So it's just like now just being at like a headspace where I'm like actually excited for my future and excited to be recovered and do all the things I want to do. It's just exciting feeling. I'm just excited for the new year and everything. So yeah, I'm excited.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's about it. Last thing is like I think you just kind of said this, but like if there's like one thing you would leave this world with to help someone going through DPDR, what would you say? Like one piece of advice,
Mm.
and that's it.
I would say stop looking up your symptoms and
Mm,
stop feeding into them. I know how much you probably want to like be validated and see that your symptoms are
mm.
whatever, not scary, but I like once you just get that off of your mind and just it'll just slowly just not never be there again. Just the number one thing that helped me was getting it off of my social media for sure.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Hmm.
That's actually, as you know, one of my mandatory rules, which is stop the research, because the research just fuels the cycle over and
Hmm.
over again. Before you
Hmm.
know it, you're in Reddit. Before you know it, you're in Quora. Before you know it, you're on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Like the real ones know about Quora. Do you know about Quora?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The real ones know about
Yeah.
Quora.
Yeah.
Um, don't do it. Don't search up your symptoms. You heard
Yeah.
it from Rachel here first.
Yeah. Don't do
Rachel, I'm so, so amazingly proud of you. And I'm really, the biggest thing I'm proud of you of is how you came into the program with the energy. Even when you were texting me, like you were just so excited. I can tell you were so committed. You were just ready
Mhm.
to go. And
Mhm.
you kept it up, right? You hopped on your consultation call, you joined the program, you went all in, and that energy just continued. That same energy you came in, like with the first text, it went through the entire program. It's just great. One of my favorite clients ever to work with because of how positive and how energetic and just how committed you were, honestly.
Thank
Um,
you. Yeah.
and yeah, I couldn't have been any other way. It was amazing. So moving forward, though, you have a lot of great things coming up in your life, and I'm so excited for you. And I definitely want to have a call next week just so we can plan out and map out how we can really optimize the next stage, the next chapter of your life. Okay?
Thanks. Yeah. I'm excited.
Amazing, Rachel.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm proud of you, and you know,
Thank
you're gonna have
you.
a great, great, great next chapter. Let's get it.
Definitely. Thank you. I'm
Of
just
course.
so eternally grateful for you guys. And yeah, I'm sure you get that a lot, but it's like genuinely life-saving stuff here. So